Good morning. It was our first freezing day. It was 26 when I woke up, hence this lovely sound you're hearing. It's condensation. So it doesn't really matter too much that I have been waterproofing because when the steel is frozen and now that the sun's out, it's thawing, it's gonna condensate anyway. So we're gonna finish up our waterproofing today and get some of these joints at least spray foamed a little bit here. You can tell obviously now that the sun's out. It's like 9 something right now, so it's getting pretty warm compared to the 26 that it was. I think it's like 36 or 38 now. But all this condensation is coming down, and obviously that's a thing with shipping containers. It just is. So that's why we really need to get rolling here before winter, because I don't want to have to be messing with this every time it freezes, which seems to be probably every morning for the foreseeable future. So I'm gonna call a couple companies in our area that do spray foam and just kind of get a quote on it, because obviously I want to spray foam directly on the metal, especially the ceiling, because we want to avoid that condensation. And that's gonna be the easiest way to avoid that, is that spray foam. And then I was gonna put other insulation over that for like extra R value because we're so far up north. But if for some reason I can get a quote that is right around what I would spend myself, or even just like a little more, that's not an outrageous price, I would consider just having them do all of this spray foam by a professional, just because time, money, efficiency. But I was going to do 2 inches on the walls. So ideally I would like to do 2 inches from these ridges, not the valleys. So it would almost be 3 in the valleys. And then I want to do 3 inches on the roof. And then I'm going to have a drop ceiling anyway, so I'll probably be able to fit actually more insulation in that roof anyway, just because of the snow and the direct contact with cold. But that's what we're doing anyway this morning. I walked in, and at first I was a little thrown off because it's the first morning that it has froze. And I have obviously this insulation on the floor now, so it makes that extra loud noise. And I was like, what is in here right now? Probably another animal, my lock. No, it's just raining inside, that's all. So we're gonna get going today and get this all waterproofed and some insulation up in all these joints, and then make some phone calls. Okay guys, we're getting the insulation in. So we are just using this big gap filler. It's the 3-inch one, so it expands way bigger. I did one pass on that channel there to make sure that that was pretty dang sealed, and then I'm gonna do a second coat to fill that entire channel, obviously, like this groundwork is. So we've just been going through, I think I'm on my 6th container of this. This is the bigger size one, but we're just going through. You can see right now this channel, I'm just running some in there and it expands a ton. So all we're doing is we're taking this and then just literally spray foaming in all of these gaps like this. And it'll expand, and it should all be sealed. Whew. Okay guys, that was a long day, but we are officially dried in. I'm so happy. The floor is officially insulated. I'm gonna sweep vacuum it up a little bit, and then we're good to go today. So I had spray foamed obviously all the channels. Everything is completely dried in. There's no bug, water, wind able to get in, except for this one door I have open. We insulated the floor all the way to this door jamb, so when I shut it, the seal will seal, and then it's insulated there. And I'm gonna go back through and insulate these channels because I wasn't gonna cut a bunch of tiny little foam pieces for there. So I'm gonna spray those channels and along the walls, and then I'm gonna double spray. Obviously, it's sealed in on the top there, but I'm gonna spray in that whole channel. And then I'm gonna just come back through and cut them flush, and we'll be ready to put down our subfloor. So I'm hoping tomorrow's my day off. So I'm gonna be home with my kids, but I think I'll be able to maybe come spray foam at least tomorrow. And then on Thursday, hopefully get the subfloor in so that I can start framing these walls in. So anyway, that was a super long day. I'm really excited with how far it's come. I think that's all I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go get some ice cream, and then we will be back to start floors and walls. We are back. We just got all of the spray foam cut here so that they're kind of flush between the foam panels, and I'm gonna be putting the subfloor in today. The only downside is they're so heavy. It's this 1-inch subfloor over here, and it's that tongue and groove style, so they lock together. However, I overestimated how much muscle I have today, or I guess underestimated how much I don't have, because I picked up one panel and that was already hard. And we've got like the little hook thing right there that I can like lift the panel by myself with. And I got like 29 more to carry into here. So we're gonna get this swept out. I am going to be sealing. My husband suggested that I seal with tape in between all of my insulation for that vapor barrier. So we are gonna be taping all the seams of the insulation and then laying that subfloor. And I called because I'm getting sick of DIYing everything, guys. And it's getting to the point in the year where we gotta get stuff done. Normally, I'd be totally down to learn how to spray foam insulate by myself. But I did call one of the local construction companies to get a quote and see what they would charge to do spray foam here, just for ease and speed. If it's like totally crazy out of my budget, maybe I'll learn to spray foam. But realistically, to save time and maybe even money at this point, I'm gonna call them. They're supposed to come out tomorrow and let me know how much it would be to spray foam this, because I really just wanna get my stuff in before everything starts freezing. So that's where we're at. We're gonna get all this cleaned up and get rocking on this floor. We have subfloor generally in its places. My father-in-law came and helped me out. I tried to carry it. We've got that little hook that you can carry paneling with, but it was still just too heavy. And I thought after I did 2 of them, my physical therapist was probably gonna kill me on Monday if I did the rest of them. So here they are, just kind of laid. Obviously I need to notch them around the pillars and then around these here to push them against the wall. My plan is to run them lengthwise this way and then horizontal this way, and then I'll run another row lengthwise that way, because I have those seams right here from the shipping containers. I didn't want to run them all. If I would have done an 8-foot section this way, it would have landed right on the seam. Same if I would have done 2 4-foot sections that way, it would have hit a seam too. So to stagger the seams the best that I could, that's why I went this way and then this way, and then a single row over there. So that's the plan anyway. Obviously, these will be full rows. That one I'll have to rip because it's a little shorter than 4 feet. But I think this is gonna be a tomorrow project because it is my husband's birthday today. And I got spray foam insulation dropped on my face when I was insulating earlier today. So my hair is like stuck to my face and all the things. And I think I should go take a shower and try to look nice tonight. So that's what we got done so far today. I think we're coming along well with the progress. Obviously tomorrow I'll have those people come in and give me a quote for that spray foam insulation, and that'll determine however they want to do it. If they need me to frame the ceiling or not will kind of determine timeline, because obviously I have to get the floor and the walls done first, and it's just me. So again, if I can get more help this weekend, that'd be super cool, and get even the walls framed in would be awesome. Literally the only thing I have to frame out, everything is just solid wall panels, except for where my door is going. I do have to, I marked and measured it. You can see there is my door center, and then the sides there, because it is a double steel door. So that's generally where it's gonna go on center with these columns. But we're obviously not gonna cut it out yet because I have quite a while until my dad's coming to do that steel tubing. He's gonna weld that for me and or teach me how to weld. But I don't want to cut that out and have a giant hole in the wall while I'm trying to work on all this other stuff. So I will frame it to the measurements that I need when I do the wood framing, and then go through from the outside and just cut the metal panel out and have that opening there. But that is about it. That's literally the only thing I'm gonna frame. you guys, I kind of toyed around with the idea too. I don't know if this is crazy or if it's like gonna be more of a pain in the ass than I think, but obviously these 2 sets of doors here, I was gonna do this whole thing a wall, and I was gonna frame the whole thing and just make it a solid wall. And then I thought, well, that'd be kind of cool if I wanted like a patio out back, or if for some reason I ever needed a secondary entrance. These middle doors swing super well. The other ones were like a little bit tighter and a little stuck, but the middle ones swing super smooth. So I kind of thought about framing these in as a wall and then almost framing the doors in. They'll be shut probably all of the time, unless I get a wild hair that I need to open them. But I was thinking if I framed them to match the wall, but almost like if you've ever seen those refrigerator panels where you can buy a refrigerator and then like make it match your cabinetry, that's what I'm thinking of doing with these doors, to where I could almost frame them in and adhere that framing and everything to the door, which yeah, it would make the door a little heavier, but they hinge really well. So when they're shut, it just looks like a wall, but when they're open, you have like it's like a hidden door, basically, ideally. I don't know. That was my random thought the other day. I was like, that'd be pretty freaking cool to have like a hidden door wall, basically. Again, if I ever need extra entry, or if something's like too tall to fit in this door, these doors are obviously like really tall, or like I said, if I wanted to put a patio out back, or I don't even know. But that was my thought. I don't know if I'll run with it, long-winded, but anyway, this will all get walled in before the spray foamers get here. So we're gonna start installing the subfloor, and to make sure that it all stays square, obviously some of these walls are more bowed out in places where they've been dinged from transport and stuff. So I've got a string line, a chalk line going, and obviously I wanted to measure a little bit higher than it would be. So instead of 48 inches, I did 48 3/4. And then I ran that. It just happens to run right along this tape seam. So you can see where it lines up so that I have a straight line all the way across. And if it's away from the walls, at least it will have all the panels lined up nice and square, and I won't screw myself getting into these corners. And then if anything pulls away from this wall or gaps away from this wall, I'll just fill it with insulation later, because obviously I'm framing my walls out this way anyway. So I just want to make sure the subfloor is square so that I don't run into having to cut like 5 million different things. So that's all I did here, is just run this string line, chalk line, and get that first straight line. Then I'm going to put these panels down. So the plan is going to be to cut a 4-foot and a 6-foot to stagger them. And these are the tongue and groove kind. So you can see that this subfloor actually has a groove on this side and a tongue on this side, so that they all lock into each other. And so by doing that 4-foot section and 6-foot section, we make sure that we're gonna cover these seams with a full piece and not end up straight on them, but also we're able to lock them all in and stagger them all the way across. So that's the plan, and I'm gonna get to it by myself. Friendly reminder to always double check everything, never trust what comes from the store, because you know, they're pretty much always wrong anyway. So you can see I'm pulling my tape measure. I'm cutting it at 48 inches, and the point of these lines is to have measurements on the board so you can nail them easier and quicker and whatever. But it doesn't help when the lines are not in the right spot. So obviously I'm gonna have to measure all of these anyway. But if you're new to this and you are like, oh sweet, the measurements are all on here. Yeah, don't go by that.